All right, hey everybody, Mark Burgess here, Big East Bass Fishing. As a follow-up to one of my last videos where I had a fish catch on a frog, I thought I'd bring you a little video on frog fishing, okay? The tackle you need, when to do it, how to do it, because right now, end of June, it's time to frog fish, okay? It's post-spawn, fish are setting up in their summertime shallow cover. So now's a great time to frog fish. It's a ton of fun. You can cover a lot of water with it and just put some really big fish in the boat. All right, so all that being said, I'm going to go over the equipment you're going to need. First of all, you want to go out and get yourself a 7'3" medium heavy rod. You can vary a little bit, 7, 7'2", 7'4" to 7'6". I like a 7'3" medium heavy with a little bit more emphasis on the heavy side of that equation, but not too heavy, okay? So the reason being is a too heavy of a rod, you're going to lose fish. There's just not enough forgiveness in that rod, and you need a little bit of that medium action in there, especially on the fast tip, to be able to cast the frog a long way, okay? So my personal preference, 7'3" medium heavy. Reel, high speed reel, not too high, something more like 6'2" to 1, 7 to 1, maybe 8 range, no more than that, okay? And reason being is it's got nothing to do with fighting the fish. It's all about just being able to store the line, that's all the reel's doing, and to get the frog back in quickly and make another cast. So a lot of times you get a lot of bites and you'll miss the fish, okay? We'll cover a little trick that I use to connect on more of those bites. So high-speed reel is nothing more just to store the line and to reel the frog in super fast to make another presentation, okay? If you're gonna cast right back to that spot with the frog, that's great. Or if you're gonna put the rod down and pick up another follow-up bait, like a flipping bait, a jig, or a creature bait, or a Senko, or something like that. You can't have two baits in the water during the tournament, so gotta get that frog in quick to make another presentation, okay? So that's it. Line, minimum 50-pound braid to 65-pound test braid, okay, period, okay? Don't use fluorocarbon, don't use mono. 50-pound braid, I like green. This is green, 50-pound Power Pro. 65 if you're fishing super heavy cover, okay? Palomar knot tied directly to the frog. Now the frog, everybody makes a great frog out there now. There's really not a bad one on the market. You can't go wrong. Basically two colors, okay, or two color schemes. One on the darker side, black, black blue, black red, okay, and another one on the lighter side, white, white orange. That's it. That's all you need, okay? There's a ton of colors on the market. You just need a dark scheme and a light scheme, okay? So depending on the light conditions, there are some days where on off-color water to muddy water that's sunny, you want to use that dark frog, okay? Clear water, a little bit cloudy, a little overcast like I got here right now, but there's still a ton of sun coming through. I want to use a white frog, okay? Little tip to it. And actually, I'll go over that now too as well. I only do 3 things to a frog when I take them out of the package. I like to take a little orange and put it up at the nose of the bait, okay? Give them something like a target to shoot for. Plus, it imitates a lot of the different bait fish that we have here in the Northeast. Second modification I do is I cut the skirt, okay? Frogs have a skirt. It comes about twice as long as you really need it. You know, good rule of thumb, basically just bend the skirt up, and where it comes to the line tie, that's where you want to cut it. This is all wet, but basically if you don't, the frog won't walk. By cutting the tail, this frog will walk back and forth just like a Zara spook through the vegetation that you're fishing. The other alteration that I do is I take a pair of pliers, and I've already done it to this frog, and I just, hopefully you can see this, all I do is I just bend, get this frog out of the way, I bend the hook out a little bit, okay? So I take it, and basically I won't do it a lot because I've already done it. I just turn it out a little bit, okay? Just a tick. If you go too far, you're gonna catch a lot of vegetation, but basically what's that do? It changes the attitude of the hook, and it'll definitely increase your hook to land ratio. Okay, so the hooks are still in line with the bait, so it's weedless, but they're right there. I mean, you run your fingers over it and it is sticky. All right, so when to throw a frog? I like bright sun, calm conditions. Okay, right now I'm fishing a mix of lily pads, dollar pads, and chestnut, believe it or not. So it's flat and it is bright. It's not super bright, but that's what I like. Ideal conditions for me would be sunny and flat. Windy, not so much when the pads are folding back. I'm not really a fan of that condition to fish a frog, but you can still, you know, pick your areas you want to fish and see if you can get a few bites. So just to recap, time of year, end of June, post spawn, 7.3 medium heavy rod, emphasis on the little bit more towards the heavy, 65 pound to, 50 to 65 pound test braid, green, and you can also color that braid if it gets a little faded out with a marker, a green marker. High speed reel, but not too high speed because you're not really fighting the fish with it. You're just looking to gather up the line real quick. Modifications, you can put a little target color on the front of that frog, cut the skirt back, and tweak those hooks out a little bit. All right, this is Mark Burgess, Big East Bass Fishing. I hope that helps you put a lot more fish in the boat this summer and have a lot more fun. All right, appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.